One angle of Star Wars The Last Jedi that I felt was completely missing by writer and director Rian Johnson was, of course, the use of Jedi and Sith lore. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, with J.J. Abrams back directing the final installment of the sequel trilogy, he's essentially ending what he started with the Skywalker saga last trilogy in the series. So looking at everything here with the character of both Rey and Kylo Ren, we do know that both JJ and Chris Terrio will be taking these two characters in a totally new and different direction for the final installment of this trilogy. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with Kylo Ren and his connection to the Sith. Specifically, a description of Kylo Ren sitting on his throne inside of his throne room. Around him are 6 individuals that appear to be the Knights of Ren. They are surrounded by Kylo Ren in a similar fashion to Snoke with his Praetorians. Kylo's hand is lifted in the air with all fingers spread out, with a triangular object hovering over the palm of his hand that glows bright red. It's a Sith holocron with all types of writing on the metallic surface. The next goes over Kylo holding the holocron with his hands in the air and looking into the center of it, before Kylo Ren actually is gaining more knowledge from the Sith to see the flaws and to not repeat those flaws with his new order. The last goes over Kylo locking it away in a box and handing it to one of the black armored individuals as they walk away. Now, I wanted to go over a couple of points here that really does raise my interest when it comes to not just the character of Kylo Ren, but also the use of Sith lore in Star Wars Episode 9 and the potential it can bring to one of our main characters, that of course being Kylo Ren. Now, as you all know, in The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson set this up where Kylo essentially wants to do away with the old, the Sith, the Jedi, Snoke, Skywalker, everything, let it all die. He wants to do away with all of that. So the only explanation of him actually exploring this Sith holocron, or even owning it at that matter, it could very well be that he is trying to actually learn about the flaws of the Sith in order to not repeat those flaws, in order to have a flawless new order ruling the entire galaxy that cannot be corrupted or destroyed. So looking at Episode 9 here specifically, when it comes to the Sith holocron, this is the huge question for sure. Exactly whose holocron is this? Who did it once belong to in Star Wars lore? Kylo Ren owning a Sith holocron really could be anybody's for all we know. It could be an ancient Sith's, it could be a Sith that we already know of in the current Disney canon. And I think that there are quite a number of revelations heading our way when it comes to both Jedi and Sith in Star Wars Episode 9. Something that was promised in the marketing of The Last Jedi, at least in the Japanese marketing, that never actually came into play, where they said, of course, that ancient and age-old mysteries of the Force would be unveiled. We didn't necessarily get those answers in The Last Jedi, so in the marketing of that movie, I felt like it was, in a completely different direction. So with Episode 9, I think that J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, they are trying to combine the knowledge of the Sith with Kylo Ren's new order in order for Kylo Ren to never fail. Now, will he introduce the rule of 2 once again? Even though he's not a Sith, will he introduce the rule of 2? Is he going to have an apprentice in Episode 9? Now, a lot of people have been thinking that maybe Kerry Russell's character is going to be a new version of Mara Jade. In the EU, Mara Jade was essentially an assassin for the Emperor. She was her, she was his essential person to carry out all these different missions and to locate certain individuals and track them down. Maybe Kerry Russell is going to be that version, except for Kylo Ren. Possibility. Now, as far as the holocron goes, we actually got our first look on screen for the very first time in a Star Wars movie. Actual Sith holocron in Solo: A Star Wars Story within Dryden Voss's, I believe it's called his den. So in Dryden Voss's den, in one of the scenes, you can see a Sith holocron. This is a question for sure. The holocron that Kylo Ren apparently has in Episode 9, could it be that Sith holocron? Could it be that perhaps that maybe Han Solo or Kira takes it at some point in time, and that somehow, some way, lands into the hands of either Supreme Leader Snoke or Kylo Ren or something around those lines. I think that the possibilities of connecting one of the main Skywalker saga films to the Solo: A Star Wars Story movie could be a very logical thing to do by Disney and Lucasfilm in order to really embed the lore deeply. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.